There are comedians who enter a room prepared with jokes, meticulously crafted for maximum laughs. Then there was Robin Williams, a man who seemed to arrive with an entire universe already exploding inside his head. Robin didn't just walk into a room. He took over, swept through, and left everyone with the impression that the room had always been his to command. His improvisational style was legendary. He could take any throwaway line, no matter how bizarre, and turn it into something unforgettable. If someone tossed him a line straight out of A Midsummer Night's Dream, he didn't just respond, he grabbed it, twisted it, and spun it into a whole new dimension. Shakespeare's words would have sounded different coming from Robin, but his magic lay in the fact that they made perfect sense and they were hilarious. He didn't merely deliver jokes, he unleashed them. One of his trademark lines, "Come here, you foolish villain," could spiral into chaotic brilliance in a split second. He might then shift gears with a sharp, theatrical gaze and declare, "No, you forced me to wear designer jeans for absolutely no reason," completely subverting the moment's intent. These were the hallmarks of Robin's brilliance, the wild, unpredictable shifts in tone, and the ability to transform even the smallest element of a conversation into an all-out comedic masterpiece. And just when you thought the scene had reached its peak, Robin would exit as if the entire room was a film set, leaving the cameraman scrambling to keep up. Where is he going now? They might have wondered. Robin, already lost in the next bit, would look around the room like a man who had forgotten what was happening. Where am I now? Robin didn't just enter a room, he exploded into it. When Robin Williams walked into any space, he did so as if he had nothing to lose. And somehow, miraculously, he made everyone else feel the same freedom. He was a human tornado, and it wasn't just his words that left everyone breathless, it was his energy, his sheer presence. Williams had the unique ability to turn anything, from an awards ceremony to a late-night talk show, into something far more exhilarating than what the producers had envisioned. Robin could turn an event into a live performance, a burst of raw, unscripted chaos that transcended the confines of television. His improvisation didn't just break the mold, it completely shattered it. One such event, he helped raise more than $1.5 million for charity, but the money was never the point. The true magic happened when Robin, with his whirlwind mind, began bouncing from one bizarre thought to the next. His mind worked faster than anyone could follow. For instance, he once shared a mental image of Jack Nicholson talking about oysters having enemies. It was so absurd that even Buddha, in all his enlightenment, would have paused and wondered, what exactly are you on? But somehow it all clicked. It always clicked. During an acceptance speech for an award, Jack Nicholson ran out of things to say. He seemed lost for words, and the audience sat in suspense. Robin Williams didn't just step in. He stormed the stage with the intensity of someone who had been waiting for the moment. Instead of simply filling the silence, he tore through it, scoring what could be likened to a bicycle kick directly into the face of awkwardness. His entrance felt less like an interruption and more like an inevitable conclusion. The moment had been waiting for Robin to walk in and make it all make sense. The audience was transfixed. Robin took Jack's unspoken pause and turned it into a comedy masterpiece. What Jack is trying to say is that he is so happy to be here, he could barely keep himself together. Then, almost immediately, he flipped the script again, making it his own. One minute he was suave and composed. The next, he was inspecting the room like a man who had just discovered a suspicious weapon. His tribute to Jack Nicholson wasn't just verbal, it became physical. He even thanked Jack for getting into a dress. Until Jack arrived, Robin joked, I couldn't stop thinking about the outfit, the ridiculousness of it all. Just when you thought the bit had run its course, Robin took it further. He wasn't satisfied with words alone. He used his entire body, exaggerating every expression, every movement, as if the joke could only fully exist through physicality. He didn't just say something, he became it. Are you okay? Someone asked him. But with Robin, that question was never simple. Okay wasn't a place he could be. It was always in motion, always shifting. He immediately slipped into the voice of a preacher. Jesus loves you, he said, and the room exploded in laughter, not just at the words, but at how Robin had transformed them. He could slip into any character at will, a priest, a detective, a Shakespearean actor, a salesman, even a confused child. One moment he could be delivering a monologue. Indeed, the next he was in a courtroom, yelling, I'm not out of order, you're out of order. And just like that, the room wasn't a room anymore. It was a courtroom, a circus, a sermon, all happening at once. One of the most iconic moments of Robin's career was his comedic jab at Michael Jackson. Jackson had everything: fame, legacy, and almost mythical status, and a bank account that most countries would envy. But did any of that stop Robin from poking fun at him? Absolutely not. Robin called out the surreal nature of Michael's public persona, the chimpanzee, the oxygen chamber, the odd rumors. He joked that even the tabloids were questioning their own stories. No, that's too much, even for us. The sheer absurdity of Michael's fame didn't escape Robin's gaze. One of his most memorable moments was when he humorously questioned why anyone would want the bones of the Elephant Man. Robin performed the question with such sincerity, acting as though he was truly trying to understand why someone would make that choice. Maybe that's just the vibe in the house, he mused. He would then shift back into comic mode, adding, "No, it is. Don't ruin the dream." He would defend the absurdity of the situation with the passion of a man trying to protect an elaborate fantasy. "Do not destroy his dream," he would insist, shifting the whole room into a different dimension where humor and chaos were sacred. Robin's fearlessness didn't just exist on stage. He once found himself on a talk show in Germany, where a woman seriously asked him, "Why do you think there's not so much comedy in Germany?" Robin responded without hesitation, "Did you ever think about trying to kill all the funny people?" The audience gasped, laughed, and applauded, because Robin knew how to land a joke with the force of a man who knew exactly what he was doing, no matter how risky it might be. Throughout his career, Robin's ability to hold the attention of an entire room was unmatched. Whether he was navigating a crowded space or slipping into a therapy session, he had the gift of turning every moment into something larger than life. In one particularly hilarious scene, Robin had a character confess that he suspected his wife might be having an affair with her gynecologist. The therapist, confused, asked how he knew. Robin's answer: "The doctor has access, too much access." And just like that, he turned a serious situation into comedic gold. Robin's comedic genius lay in his ability to take the simplest situation and elevate it to absurd levels. He could make a film set collapse under the weight of his energy. It was impossible to maintain professionalism when Robin was around. One memorable moment involved Robin addressing a room with the phrase, "Pleasure to meet you, Lawrence," before launching into a noble-sounding speech about self-reliance, only to reveal that his pants had split so badly that you could practically see through them. The other actors tried to survive the take, but the moment was already lost. Robin had detonated it, and in doing so, made it the funniest thing on screen. Through all of his performances, Robin Williams never did serious in the traditional sense. Even when holding his first Oscar, he managed to balance sincerity and humor in a way only he could. He thanked the Academy for the honor but humorously acknowledged that the award wasn't just for him. It was for his father, who had once told him, "Wonderful, just have a backup profession like welding." That line was delivered with warmth and humor, and it showed just how deeply Robin valued the grounding influence of his family. Yet, even in that moment of profound achievement, Robin couldn't help but laugh at the situation. He admitted that he had forgot to thank his mother during the speech, and in his typically self-deprecating way, he confessed that if she had been there, she would have made sure to bring it up at every family gathering from then on. In the end, Robin Williams was the kind of performer who could never be boxed in. He didn't just stand beside other legends like Al Pacino and make jokes. He treated them as part of the show, making even the most intense actor feel like a backdrop to his comedy. He disrupted every space he entered and left the world laughing. Through it all, Robin's comedy wasn't just a career, it was a way of life. He was a man who understood the power of laughter, the importance of joy, and the profound effect one person's energy could have on everyone around them. The laughter spread through the room like wildfire, with people bending over in uncontrollable fits of amusement. Faces disappeared behind hands, desperately trying to suppress the waves of laughter that had taken over. The set, once meant for filming a serious show, had morphed into the perfect stage for comedy. It wasn't just a set anymore, it was a playground where Robin Williams' infectious humor took center stage. And just when the audience thought they might gain composure, another comedic moment unfolded, this time involving President Bill Clinton. In his signature quick-witted style, someone innocently asked Robin whether he had arrived with Mr. Clinton. Robin, with his usual deadpan delivery, replied, "No, Mr. Clinton arrived on his own." At first, it seemed like a straightforward answer, but then Robin, realizing the double meaning in his words, instantly clarified, "I mean, he arrived logistically by himself." This sudden shift in direction had the entire room in stitches. Robin's comedic mind worked at an incredible speed, processing and delivering jokes faster than anyone could keep up. He was in constant motion, always ready to seize the next opportunity for humor. And when certain celebrities came to mind, Robin's body didn't just react, it became part of the joke. Let's take the example of Al Pacino, one of Hollywood's most intense and renowned actors. Robin often marveled at Pacino's commitment to his craft, particularly his method acting. Pacino would prepare for a scene with a level of intensity that was both frightening and awe-inspiring. Robin would imagine walking backstage and hearing Pacino building himself up with primal, volcanic energy, his voice rising as he tapped into the character's raw emotions. But then in an instant, Pacino would stop and notice Robin. "Who did that? Who's there?" he would bark. Robin, ever the professional and a master of understatement, would shrink into politeness and reply, "It's me, Mr. Pacino. Nice to meet you." Just as quickly, Pacino would switch back to his intense work mode. "Oh, Robin, it's you. Okay, let's do this." Robin's ability to capture this dynamic so perfectly was a testament to his deep understanding of his fellow actors and his ability to turn every interaction into an unforgettable comedic moment. After Pacino, Robin would seamlessly transition to Robert De Niro, who was known for his calm and controlled performances. De Niro's approach to acting was the complete opposite of Pacino's fiery intensity. Robin would soften his approach, adopting a more measured, understated tone, channeling De Niro's subtle yet commanding style. "Let's try it. It'll be fun. It'll be good. That's nice," Robin would say, perfectly capturing the iconic De Niro cadence. But Robin's favorite impression, the one he returned to time and time again, seemed to be Christopher Walken. Walken, with his distinctive cadence and strange delivery, could make even the simplest sentence sound as if it had traveled through an alternate universe before reaching the listener. Robin admired this rare gift, and he had a knack for imitating Walken's voice and pacing, turning even a throwaway line into something bizarre and magical. For Robin, it wasn't just about the words. It was about embodying the entire energy of the performer, capturing their essence in a way that made the audience feel like they were seeing a different person altogether. One of the most iconic moments of Robin's career was when he appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman. In the early days of Letterman's career, he had made his name as a sharp-witted, unflappable host. But when Robin Williams entered the stage, the dynamic shifted completely. Robin didn't simply perform, he took over the space, making it impossible for anyone, including the host, to be the center of attention. David Letterman, an industry giant, was suddenly relegated to the role of an observer in his own studio. The crowd wasn't merely watching Robin, they were being pulled into his orbit. The energy he created in the room was so intense that the audience had no choice but to be captivated by him. Robin Williams' career wasn't just built on his ability to make people laugh. It was about his ability to transform any situation into a performance. Even when he won his first Oscar in 1998 for his role in Good Will Hunting, the moment wasn't just about the recognition. The Academy Award, one of the most prestigious honors an actor can receive, became another stage for Robin to inject his humor. As he stood before the Academy, surrounded by the industry's greatest talent, Robin momentarily seemed speechless, almost taken aback by the magnitude of the honor. But then he began his speech. "Thank you so much for this incredible honor," grounding the moment in sincerity. He thanked the Academy for placing him in a category with four extraordinary men, showing a deep respect for his peers before turning the moment back to comedy. Robin's speech took a personal turn when he thanked his father, the man who, when Robin first declared his intention to become an actor, responded with love and practical advice. "Wonderful, just make sure you have a backup profession like welding." It wasn't just a joke. It was a glimpse into the reality of Robin's upbringing, where even the most important decisions were met with caution and practicality. This moment of raw honesty underscored the dichotomy of Robin's Lee. Fee, the comic genius who made millions laugh, but who also carried the weight of the working-class values imparted to him by his family. But imagine, after winning the most prestigious award of your career, forgetting to thank your mother. For most people, such an omission would be a moment of deep embarrassment. But Robin Williams, ever self-deprecating, turned it into material. He admitted with his usual humor that he had forgotten to thank his mother during his Oscar speech, and to make matters worse, she had been sitting right there in the audience. "Even a therapist would have heard that and told me to leave immediately," Robin joked, a wry smile on his face. He imagined the awkward conversations that would follow. "How's the award? Not congratulations, not pride, just that subtle reminder from his mother that he had missed something important." In Robin's world, every triumph, even the biggest of them, became material for his next great joke. This ability to turn even his most significant achievements into comedic fodder was what made Robin Williams unique. He didn't just stand beside Al Pacino, one of the most intense actors in Hollywood, and treat him like a background dancer in his own routine. Robin didn't simply enter scenes. He disrupted the very fabric of reality. He bent every moment to fit his vision, transforming silence into energy, awkwardness into rhythm, and every room he entered into a stage where he held the spotlight, completely and unmistakably. Whether in front of an audience, behind the scenes, or accepting one of the highest honors in his profession, Robin Williams' life and career were a testament to the fact that he didn't just entertain, he transformed the world around him, one laugh at a time. Robin's brilliance wasn't just in his performances, but in his ability to reshape the space, the people, and the moments he interacted with. His comedy wasn't just a form of entertainment, it was a force of nature, one that touched everyone in its path and left an indelible mark on the world of entertainment. Robin Williams didn't wait for the world to hand him the microphone. He took it, and with it, he changed the very nature of comedy.